On March 25th, 2007, a magnitude 6.9 earthquake struck off the coast of Wajima City, Ishikawa Prefecture. While nobody died, numerous buildings were damaged, and even more left without power. The self-defense forces were called in to help with relief efforts, as is the norm with such large earthquakes, but that wasn't what got people talking. What got people talking was something that came to be known as the Naeyama incident. NHK, the national broadcasting channel, covered news of the earthquake, and one of their reporters spoke to a local town hall worker by the name of Naeyama-san. They spoke about details of the earthquake, whether there were any injuries, the current state of the city, and so forth. But then at one point, as they were talking about whether the buildings had any power or not, the person known as Naeyama suddenly went silent. This silence continued for a few seconds before the reporter checked in with them, and something strange happened. Someone, clearly an entirely different person, responded. Confused, the reporter tried to keep the conversation going, even confirming that he was still speaking to Naeyama-san, to which the person on the other end replied with, "Yes." But not only was this person's voice entirely different to the person speaking before, their attitude also changed, and their answers became more vague and abrupt. Finally, the reporter let them go, but viewers all over the country noticed the oddity and took to Ni-chan to discuss it. An internet legend was born. Take a listen for yourself.
今のところは入っておりません。
はい。今職員の皆さんに全員招集をかけて、情報の収集に当たっている。
はい、そうです。
そして被害の情報はまだないということですね。はい。苗山さん、地震のこの震度最大震度6強を観測しましたけれども、そちらは6弱を観測したそうですが、地震が起きた時どちらにいらっしゃいましたか？
今日は休みなもんですから家にいたんですが、
ご自宅にいらっしゃった。ご自宅の1階ですか2階ですか？2
階です。
2階。どんな揺れでしたか？
そうですね。本棚の本がですね、すべて下の方へ落ちるという大変大きな初めて経験する揺れでしたね。
ああ、そうですか。本が落ちてくるような強い揺れだった。
はい、そうです。
はい。揺れはどのぐらい続きましたか？
そうですね。時間的に揺れというのは長く感じるんですが、30秒から40秒ぐらいは強く感じたと思いますが、
そしてその揺れを体感された後、役場の方へ向かわれたわけですね。
はい、そうです。
役場に向かう道の途中で、何かガラスが割れたりとか、信号が止まっていたりとか、被害と考えられるような情景はご覧になりましたか？
すぐですね、停電になりまして。
停電になった。
はい。停電になりまして、こちらの方へ来たんですけども、町民の方皆さん驚かれてですね、外の方にみんなで出られておりましたが、怪
我をされたりガラスが割れたり壁が落ちてきたりというような状況はありましたか？
はい、今のところはまだ入っておりません。
それはないですか？ただその停電になったとおっしゃいましたね。今そちらの中能登町役場は、庁舎内は停電になっていますか？
いや、ここはなっておりません。
あ、そうですか。
それとですね、すぐもうそういう事態になれば非常発電もありますので、それについてはもう機能的には
もしもし。引き続き苗山さんでしょうか？
はい。
もしもし。電話の方変わられましたですか？
いえ、変わっておりません。
苗山さんですね。今も信号機の停電などは確認、停電によって信号機が例えば止まってたりというようなことはあるでしょうか？いかがですか？
復旧しております。
復旧していますか？はい、わかりました。ありがとうございました。情報収集の途中ありがとうございました。
Viewers noted that the person on the phone's voice dramatically changed. Clearly it was another person speaking, and yet this second person said yes when asked if they were Naeyama-san. It's important to note that this person didn't themselves state Naeyama as their name, but, when asked, answered with yes. And when the reporter then asked if he was speaking to someone different, The person on the other end responded with, "No." When asked once more if this person was Naeyama, this time they responded with silence, causing the clearly confused reporter to move on. What had happened to the original Naeyama? What was going on? Nichan users quickly dug further into the incident and discovered that someone by the name of Naeyama did indeed work at the town hall in Wajima City. A PR brochure for the town hall mentioned a Naeyama working in the General Affairs Department. This matched up with the title displayed on the screen at the start of the interview. At the very least, Naeyama of the General Affairs Department was a real person. But were there two Naeyamas working in the same department? It's unlikely, because Naeyama itself is an extremely rare name, with only 100 people in all of Japan sharing it, and only 10 of those were living in Ishikawa Prefecture at the time. Someone had changed places with Naeyama on the phone, pretended to be him, and quickly became standoffish with the reporter, causing the interview to abruptly wrap up. But why? This is perhaps the biggest riddle of the Naeyama incident. Why? Viewers noted that earlier in the interview, the NHK reporter asked Naeyama if there had been any damage due to the earthquake, and Naeyama replied that there was a power outage. Yet the second Naeyama said that the power is back. Things got even stranger when it was reported that immediately after the earthquake, both landlines and cell phones were down in Wajima City. If so, how was the NHK reporter able to get through? How was he able to speak to Naeyama at town hall when no phones were working? Did the town hall have a spare satellite phone hanging around? It's not impossible, sure, but it adds to the strangeness of the story. One theory that has grown in popularity over the years involves a type of cover-up. Wajima City sits less than 40 kilometers from Shika nuclear power plant. The Naeyama interview went south when the reporter started talking about power outages, and when the second Naeyama entered the conversation, he quickly changed the story, stating that the power wasn't actually out and was working fine. Why would this be necessary? You only need to look at what happened in Fukushima 4 years later to see why. It's possible that the local government didn't want people to panic, thinking that the earthquake had damaged the nuclear power plant, and therefore their lives might have been in danger. When Naeyama answered that the power was out, it's possible a superior overheard him and forced him out of the conversation to nip that particular problem in the bud before it started. There was no problem with the power. Everything was safe. Nothing for anyone to worry about. The interview took place soon after the earthquake struck, so it's possible nobody in Wajima knew whether the power plant had been damaged at the time of the interview, and they lied to stop mass panic. In the end, the power plant wasn't damaged anyway, and there really was nothing to worry about. But it's possible that nobody in charge knew that for certain at the time, and panicked. If so, that little cover-up ended up gaining even more attention than if they had said nothing at all and let Naeyama end the interview naturally. On a side note, Naeyama enthusiasts discovered an obituary for the man in 2011, and calls to the Wajima town hall shortly after revealed that he no longer worked there. We'll likely never know for sure what went down on that fateful day that was captured for all to see, but one thing's for sure, no one's going to forget about it anytime soon. What do you guys think really happened? A cover-up? Doppelgangers? Something entirely different? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you again next time.